Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. Government applauded for pushing the secondary entrance assessment examination to the month of May. The Education Minister confirms government's commitment to increasing the number of spaces for students at the nation's schools. Residents of Point Fortin assured that their voices and concerns would be heard. And in sport, the Defence Force continues to dominate the North Zone Basketball League. Thank you for joining us to our top story. Parents are applauding government for pushing the secondary entrance assessment examination to the month of May. Close to 18,000 students wrote the examination. Verna Barth has the story.
The anxiety is finally over. Well, at least until results are ready. The atmosphere at primary schools throughout the country was one of relief and celebration, as parents, teachers and 5th standard students all breathed sighs of relief as the SEA examinations were finally over. Parents are also expressing their sentiments on the new scheduled date of the SEA examination, saying their young ones now have more time to prepare.
For my daughter, yes. Yes, because in the beginning of the school year, she kind of, was not too serious with her work, and I gave her like extra lessons and whatnot, and the little extra time gave her time to buck up a bit, which I saw that she did.
Well, I feel it for my daughter more than for me. I mean, she was the one that put in the effort to really work hard. We have our son coming after, so she really kind of steered us through this process. Well, I think for her it was a plus. I mean, for the parents who really accustomed to a March exam, even myself, it was different. But I mean, the extra time was good. As well as when they did it in March, as I was talking before, when they did it in March, the time that you had between March and results, could have been used differently. So now it's being used to keep prepping them March to May. So, yeah, I think it's a plus.
Very nervous. I think I was more nervous than her because of the wait. The time today seemed like it was just crawling. So, just thanking God that it's over and that she did her best.
These students screamed and embraced their parents and teachers as the first major examinations of their lives finally came to an end. Some even shared their plans for later.
Very easy. Feeling relaxed. I'm going to move it on. I will tell my parents and teachers for pushing my heart to do good in my essay.
Easy. Real easy. Yeah. CIC. Yeah. Much.
It was very good. I'm very happy that I'm finished and all the hard work has paid off at the end. Bishop's East. Yes, I am.
Verna Barth, News 4.
A place for every child, the words from Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopi-Singh, as he says government remains committed to increasing the number of spaces for students at the nation's schools. The comments came even as thousands of students sat the SEA exams. Kimberly Ramkalawan tells us more.
With thousands of students having sat the secondary entrance assessment exam this week, Education Minister Dr. Tim Gopi-Singh is assuring that there will be a place for every student. Speaking at the opening of the Marabella Secondary School at Gopal Lands, Marabella, the minister described the latest school as high-tech.
This state-of-the-art school houses spacious blocks for administration, classrooms, science and technology, visual and performing arts, a multi-purpose hall as we have here, cafeteria and farm and security and maintenance buildings. It is one of many schools handed over since we came into office as a People's Partnership Government.
Minister Gopi Singh noted his ministry was looking at improving the quality of teaching at the nation's schools by increasing the ratio of teachers to student population.
The first intake of our students into this school, away from the existing older school, which housed over 800 students, my understanding is now we're housing 400 students here, with approximately 46 teachers. And the teacher-to-student ratio here is approximately 1 teacher to 9 students, way above the best practice internationally in developed countries. So therefore, principal and teachers, the students, I'm sure, will shine in their examinations to come.
Government is said to be working towards achieving universal childhood education over the next 3 years. And to aid this, Minister Gopi Singh outlined the plan to increase the number of centres across the country.
We are pleased to announce to the national community that we have constructed 29 early childhood education centres. We are now constructing 24 more with the assistance of the IADB. We are poised to start another 80 early childhood education centres in the quest and the instruction of the Honourable Prime Minister that we must be, by 2015, the first country in the world to establish universal early childhood education.
This year, the government will once again deliver laptops to the new batch of Form 1 students, in keeping with its promise of making education accessible to all. Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
News 4 continues after the break. Stay with us.
Honoring and respecting the elderly begins with you and me. And in the event of a disaster, your support before, during and after will be critical to their well-being. Build a support team where each member will have a specific task. Your team must include someone who is within easy reach of the elderly person. Make an evacuation plan and practice your plan. Stock up on special caregiving items such as incontinence items, cleaning and sanitizing supplies. Have on hand a minimum of 2 weeks supply of all essential medications. In the event of a disaster, accessing medication may become difficult. Keep testing and insulin supplies and do not require refrigeration for diabetics. Secure all medical supplies in a clean, waterproof, easy-to-carry container. Keep a list of medication, caregiving instruction, doctors' names, and contact information. In case an elderly person is relocated to a shelter, this information is vital to their continued care. Dehydration is a serious health problem for older adults. Store at least 1 gallon per person per day. Store at least 3 days' worth. Consider special dietary needs when stocking up on food supplies. Safeguard important documents and provide an ID bracelet or necklace to persons with special needs, such as persons with Alzheimer's disease. Remember, disaster readiness and preparedness begins with you and me.
A message from the Ministry of National Security, Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management.
Welcome back. Science, Technology and Tertiary Education Minister, Senator the Honourable Fazal Karim, says the borough of Point Fortin and environs can now enjoy the services of their very own OJT sub-regional office. Minister Karim also announced plans to have the OJT program likened to that of a one-stop facility, which will provide numerous services and information on tertiary education programs, among other services. Verna Barrett has the story.
Numerous areas in the vicinity of Point Fortin will now benefit from the services of a brand new OJT sub-regional office. This from Science, Technology and Tertiary Education Minister, Senator the Honourable Fazal Karim, who is speaking at the official opening of the On-the-Job Training Centre at Point Fortin, where MP for the area, Paula Gopi-Skoon, was also present.
This OJT office, as you would have heard, will be the 6th in a series that we have opened over the last few weeks with the National Training Agency. Communities that stand to benefit, you would have heard some of them. I just want to renew my acquaintances with some of these communities that will be served by this office will be Point Ligo, Hollywood, New Village, Fanny Village, Capdeville, Cedros, Labre, Vesini, Chatham, Palaseco, Lucero, Buenos Aires, Icacos, and Guapo. And all those that I have named, I know them. I have visited them. In fact, I had an aunt who used to live in Cedros.
While persons will be given the opportunity to gain on-the-job training via the initiative, Minister Karim says other services will be made available as well. These benefits, he says, will include counseling services and career guidance.
This office, not only will it accept applications for the OJT or the trainees, but it will also provide career guidance and counseling. So that if persons come here and they do not have the requisite skills to engage an employer, we'll be able to advise you as to what other programs you can pursue to make sure that you are work ready, to make sure that our workforce is a competent one when you enter the market.
Employment opportunities are also expected to rise significantly for those participating in the OJT programs. The Science, Technology and Tertiary Education Minister outlined just how easily opportunities for employment are created via the OJT program.
The program targets persons between the ages of 16 to 35 years old who are graduates of secondary, technical and vocational institutions, as well as those from the tertiary sector. Indeed, the entire gamut of the post-secondary system. OJT is designed to provide young persons, as you would have heard from Mrs. Gopi's school, in terms of the experience you can now put this on your CV, your resume. And as Mr. Jeffrey indicated, former minister in the Ministry of Science, Technology and Tertiary Education, he indicated that at the end of the 2-year program, people will get employment. And in fact, I employ, but I want to tell you, MP, that sometimes within the 2-year period, and even well before even 1 year, because of their attitude to work and their competencies and how they deliver, they apply for work in the institution in which they are, the organization, and they're accepted.
Minister Karim is also revealing plans to have the OJT program rebranded and expanded to provide numerous additional services. He says the aim is to ensure that accessing tertiary education and certification for the provision of gainful employment is made as easy as possible.
This will also complement the career coaches that we have on order, and they're going to be mobile facilities, and you will be proud to see them, and I'm sure have them in Point Fortin and Labrie in the future. We expect them to be delivered here around towards the end of this year, and that will be live, real-time systems to tell you if you want to do any program, where you can do it, what is the cost of it. And I want to also indicate that this office will be a one-stop shop, not only to complement the career coaches. This office will have all the services of the Ministry of Science, Technology and Tertiary Education. If you want to pursue GATE, if you want to pursue your HELP, the Higher Education Loan Program, HYPE, MUS, MyPath, retraining, all of them, please utilize the services here.
Verna Barath, News 4.
As government continues in the path towards fostering partnerships among the relevant ministries and civil societies, consultations with the people moved to the southern village of Point Fortin. Here, residents were reassured that their voices and concerns would be heard.
Civil society consultations resumed this week, this time in the deep southland of Point Fortin. The southern town has been the center of a number of hot topics and issues in recent times, with the proposed construction of the new highway and provision of jobs, just to name a few. Some residents took the opportunity to highlight what they felt should be presented to the boards, and the Minister of State in the office of the Prime Minister, Roger Samuel, assured that this was the place for their voices to be heard.
This is a national thing, and Point Fortin's voice in the sectors will be heard as in every sector, because this is not a geographical thing but a national thing. Okay? So it's not just isolated geographically. It's about the voice and the sectors being represented across the board.
It's through the formation of civil society boards citizens have a chance to air their grievances and to make a sound difference in the lives of their communities. As explained by member of the Economic Development Board, Peter Mitchell, establishing boards across communities would assist in the representation process at the national level in government's development of policies.
Not only does it encourage or require that there be effective sectoral representation at the board level, but it also forces the civil society organizations in disparate areas of the country to come together, to know each other, to meet representatives. Interestingly enough, there may be people in other regions of the country who are doing the same work that you are doing, albeit in different areas. So there's the opportunity to share experiences, to share best practices.
So far, consultations have brought together ideas that will assist in formulating plans for the medium policy framework for Trinidad and Tobago. Program Coordinator at the National Transformation Unit at the Ministry of Planning and the Economy, Dinesh Raghu, said a report on findings is expected to be released sometime this year.
In order to determine where we are, an important part is to develop what we call a performance framework, so that every year the Ministry of Planning will be producing an annual progress report so that the public and citizens can see what has been achieved in the course of the last year.
Minister Roger Samuel said the consultations can only lead to the change citizens are looking for in society, as regular meetings will be required. The medium-term policy framework will seek to generate positive economic growth based on diversification, as well as ensure equity in the socio-economic development. Kimberly Ramkalawan, News 4.
Sport is up next, right after the break.
It's like no other place on earth. Paria Springs and rainforests that sing, and the blue seas and skies. But what makes Trinidad and Tobago really special is our people. Our fathers and mothers, sisters and brothers. We're aunts and uncles, neighbors and cousins, and we are officers of a new police service as well. A new service of the 21st century, the police service of tomorrow.
It's different from the old model, and what it is really is a deployment model. So it's how we deploy our resources, how we utilize our resources for their maximum effectiveness.
With new tools, new technology, new leadership, and a new sense of dedication and service to all our people. In the coming weeks, we'll air a series of half-hour specials to show you how we have been re-equipped with new computers, new communication systems, and new rapid response teams so we can respond with speed and precision.
The male team of the Defence Force continues to dominate the North Zone Basketball League. Their most recent victim, Diego Martin All-Stars. Diego was also on the wrong side when they faced Police in the women's division. Wayne Cunningham has a rundown of the scores.
The North Zone Basketball League is in full swing, with matches in all divisions being contested nightly at the Jean Pierre Sports Complex. Police bounced back well from a 79-73 defeat at the hands of the Defence Force in the women's division. The Law played a highly fancied Diego Martin All-Stars and jumped out to a 9-point half-time lead before taking that match 57-48. For Diego, Annika Nottingham had 15 points, while Chanel Henry got 9. National player Rhonda John Davis matched Nottingham's 15 to be joint top scorer in the match, but she got a lot more help, with Kiel Connolly scoring 12 baskets and Trisha Braffett dropping in 10 to put the Police back on track in the league. In the male first division, Diego Martin were again on the losing end. This time the margin was much wider, with the Defence Force registering an 89-62 triumph. They were led in the scoring department by the dependable Peter Lewis, who scored 14 points to lead all scorers. Gerard Tony chipped in with 12 for the military men, who put in a clinical team effort to stop Diego, with stars such as Stephen Leiter Lewis and Wilt Vincent sitting this one out. Gershwin Duncan tried his best for Diego, but his 12 points were not enough. Kia Blackett was the other man in double figures for Diego Martin. He had 10. Matches continue on Thursday with the male first division on show, and on Saturday the youths will feature before the Defence Force takes on Pistons in a first division clash from 7:30 p.m. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
When we come back, new developments in the tourism sector. Stay with us.
We are reporting from communities across the country. People are calling Nallis Libraries their library. Tell me, why is Nallis your library?
My library is where I can have fun learning.
My library is helping me earn better grades with online research resources.
My library is my gateway to the world of information.
My library is providing access to the differently abled. As a visually impaired person, I can envision limitless possibilities.
My library is making my world truly worldwide with free internet access.
My library is helping me keep an eye on my health with access to the virtual health library via the Nallis website.
Nallis is my library.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Tourism has announced new developments in the tourism sector. Speaking at a meeting of North American and Canadian travel and online tour operators at the Hyatt Regency, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Juliana Johan Budram, says there is much more to Trinidad and Tobago than carnival, sun, sand and sea.
To many foreigners who hear of the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the terms carnival and beaches usually come to mind. However, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Juliana Johan Budram, says while this country is known for its magnificent carnival and beaches, there is a whole lot more to the island. Speaking at a meeting of North American and Canadian travel and online tour operators at the Hyatt Regency, Mrs. Johan Budram enlightened the foreign audience on the great culturally blended local cuisine, the spectacular nightlife on Aripita Avenue in Port of Spain, and the exciting cultural festivals of Trinidad and Tobago.
But not only do we have carnival to sell, we have a lot of other things. I hope that while you are here, you will see our Aripita Avenue strip. You will experience some of our cuisine. As you are here, you will see what we look like. We are many diverse cultures, and our food is very exciting coming out of our different cultures and tastes. So a big part of what we are also promoting in Trinidad and Tobago is our culinary festivals. We have a big one that is coming up in October, between the 22nd to the 28th of October. So that is something that you can sell outside of the carnival season.
The Tourism Ministry's Permanent Secretary is also urging the foreign visitors to stop by one of the panyards and treat themselves to the sound of beautiful pan, or even take it back with them.
Don't forget that Trinidad and Tobago is the home of the only musical instrument invented in the 21st century. I wish that you had the opportunity to go and visit one of our panyards. And if you didn't get to do it on this time, it's a good reason to come back another time. Okay? So you must visit our panyard. You must play a little bit of the pan song. And if you can't do all of that, just buy a CD and take it back with you, so you can hear some of our rich music.
Mrs. Johan Budram says tourism in Trinidad and Tobago is widely expanding with the impact that technology is having in making travel so very easy.
I am glad that this is really very technology focused. Now we know with the technology we can take our phones, our smartphones. There are so many apps that we can download. We can check in to the airlines. We can do other things. So we in Trinidad and Tobago, we are really coming of age with our tourism product. And we are glad that you are here to really help us with all of that.
Vuna Bharath, News 4.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.